program for an important news announcement.
Before we begin, I'd just like to thank you guys so much on the Gino video doing so well, the last video doing really well, way better than I thought. I'd like to thank you guys so much for that. And I also apologize that I haven't been on the channel for a bit. I do apologize for that. You know how it be. But it's spring break, so I'm gonna be working a lot on videos and stuff for probably the rest of the week. So with that being said, guys, ladies and laddies, this is gonna be a really quick video, so cue the intro. Intergeneric. Hey guys, here, welcome back to another episode of Smash Talk. So today we're gonna be talking about Mii costumes.
Yeah.
Let's explain why I'm doing this. So you guys already know this hasn't been a Nintendo Direct for a while. The Nintendo fans are like collectively drying up. I feel like at this point we're just spitting in each other's mouths because we're so thirsty for new content. I mean, for real, last time we got Animal Crossing Direct, for Pete's sake. But I realized that that is disgusting. We could all get
very friendly illness
and die. So instead, I'm going to make my own content until the next Nintendo Direct. So with the new Smash news that is coming out eventually, you know, we got Fighter Pass 2 confirmed, but I feel like before Fighter Pass 2 gets confirmed, I feel like there's a couple other videos that I want to make before we get onto the whole thing talking about Fighter Pass 2. I feel like there's a couple things I want to talk about, like the future of some things, what I would want from one thing, what I want from another. And today I'm going to make a kind of a series of videos talking about at least something dealing with the future Fighter Pass DLC. And also to get that views. Anyways, moving forward, let's go ahead and talk about, first of all, the Mii costumes. I'm just joking, by the way. I know this is probably gonna be like 9 views because this is such an old topic that honestly I should have talked about beforehand, which I technically did, but I wanted to elaborate and make a separate video for it. So if you guys remember, I did a video a while ago talking about the Byleth video presentation, and I talked about, for the most part, like 3 things. With Byleth himself, I talked about the Cuphead costume and kind of the future of the Mii costumes, and I talked about like one other thing I kind of forgot. But 'tis either here nor there. Now, I've already made a video on Byleth, so I thought it'd be cool to go into the other topic that I briefly mentioned in that video, which is the Special Mii Costumes video. But if you guys do want to go to that video and get a little teaser of what you want in this video, you go check it out. But you probably don't, because I'm probably just going to explain and regurgitate everything I just said in that video, because I kind of forgot what I said in that video. So in this video, I'm going to shut up. Anyways, let's go ahead and move forward with the topic at hand. So for starters, when it comes to the Special Mii costumes, I'm mostly going to talk about the Special Mii costumes. That's how I kind of like, that's my canon verbiage for it. It's canon Mii costumes because, you know, you got the Sans costume and then you have the Cuphead costume. Now, once again, I already did a whole video on the Sans costume and kind of just like why the Sans costume was such like a big thing. But I did want to talk about some future things I could see in the DLC going into the future. So I think with the positive reception that we got from both Cuphead and Sans costume, I feel like each character we're gonna get from now on, the other 6 fighters we're gonna get, I think each one is gonna have at least one Special Mii costume. That's my quote unquote. So now, once again, we could talk about the regular ones, but I'm gonna be completely honest, those don't really have any relevance. There's not something I can really discuss with those kinds of costumes, but the Special Mii costumes are kind of different. So we're gonna talk about that. So for starters, basically what I'm gonna talk about is I'm gonna be talking about who I think would be a good Special Mii costume, quote unquote, and some other things I think they could do in the future with the Special Mii costumes as well, because I think it's a really good idea on paper. You know, putting all these indie franchises into a Mii costume rather than making them a fighter is actually a really good idea if you really think about it. And when you look at what games are being put into as Mii fighters, the characters that get picked are usually ones that have a high amount of prestige and usually have some sort of impact and are really good games in general. So we got Cuphead and Undertale, Undertale, for example. Those are two really, really good indie games, right? So I think once again for the future, we're not gonna have every indie game under the freaking sun, but I think we are gonna have some indie characters with a lot of clout behind them, clout coins, as I say, because I definitely say that. But wait, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about. I know a lot of people are gonna be mad at these choices, and I know a lot of people are probably gonna be disappointed, maybe in the future, depending on who they choose to have as Special Mii Costumes. But I think we have to take a look back at the consideration that this is a huge upgrade from last time, because if you guys don't remember last time we only had like one, you know, I know a lot of y'all like to fact check me here, so I'm gonna look this up real quick. I'll be right back.
Later that same evening.
So if I'm not mistaken, alright, and if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but in Smash 4, there was indie representation, but it was definitely not like how it was before. Before, we got one freaking trophy character, and that was the Boy Commander video. So you can tell we've come a long way, because now we're getting multiple indie characters represented at least through some sort of playable aspect. Though they're not their own characters, they're still Mii costumes, and I think that is a huge upgrade from just being trophy. So I think in the future, you know, I know some people who are mad about Sans not being an actual character, or Cuphead being an actual character. Maybe one day they'll get their shine, but I think for now we should appreciate that Sakurai and the team are at least doing something for those characters. It's better than nothing, am I right? Plus, honestly, if I'm looking at it, characters like Cuphead, their moves in their respective games could be represented quite nicely into the Mii fight. Hey, yo! Hey, man, I'm trying to record, innit?
And now, our feature presentation.
Before we begin, actually, I just want to say I apologize in advance. I know some of these characters are characters that lots of people want, fighters. So once again, I apologize in advance. Alright, don't hurt me, alright? I took kickboxing for like a year. I know how to box, bro. Get away from me before I hit you with the 1-2 buckle my shoe, okay? I got you. Alright, let's get into this. So for starters, this is one character that kind of hurts because I really like this character, to be fair. But I really didn't see a chance of them ever getting into Smash Bros. And that is, of course, Hat Kid. Now, here's the other thing I noticed about these Mii fighters is, of course, all of them are being ported onto Nintendo consoles. Undertale was ported a while ago. Cuphead was recently ported a while ago. And A Hat in Time is now being ported as well. And I think it'll be a good, successful game on the Switch. And I think Hat Kid herself and the world she lives in is very Nintendo-esque and gives off a Nintendo vibe. Therefore, I can really see her becoming an easy fighter in the game. I can really just see it just like bop, it happening. She fits right into the group, and I think if you have just some like big like head similar to the Cuphead one, I think that would be really cool as well. And I would say she would probably be under Mii Sword Fighter, but instead of actually having a sword, she would have an umbrella. I feel like that's kind of like either that or maybe a gunner, but I feel like considering we already have two gunners in Cuphead and Sans, I feel like Hat Kid would be the best one. I think another cool one, I remember in the discussion I had with Darwin the Namakan, he always said that the only character you can really see being in the game as of this point as a fighter in Smash Bros is Quote from Cave Story. And the reason why is because Quote from Cave Story is, of course, the pioneer, the beginning stage of the indie market. Okay, that wasn't, come on, man. Disturbing my time. Now you're disturbing me. First the guy on the motorcycle, now you, bro. Come on! Anyways, I can really see Quote from Cave Story getting like a Mii Gunner outfit, especially because a lot of his moves are literally just gun attacks. I can really see it. Now, personally, I have not played Cave Story in a very, very long time, so maybe I'm forgetting something here. And I remember the story well, and I do really like the story of Cave Story, especially back in the day for a Nintendo DS game. It was a great start to the indie scene, and I think it's a good representation of it. But as for a whole character, I feel like once again, if Sans didn't get in, I can't see it, bro. I honestly can't, unfortunately. So I can see him being a Mii Gunner skin just because of what he means to the indie scene. But at the end of the day, I don't think that can be a thing. Maybe I'll make a video talking about who should be the indie rep because there's lots of discussion around it. So maybe I'll do a video on that. I don't know. So next character that off the top of my head that makes a lot of sense is Shovel Knight. Now, obviously, I know that Shovel Knight is in fact a assist trophy trophy. But I think if Isabelle can get both an assist trophy and a costume, why not Shovel Knight? And plus, Shovel Knight's pretty much the face of the indie market nowadays. I mean, I think Undertale kind of gives Shovel Knight a run for its money. I don't think it's as popular as it used to be, but it is still a very popular series. So, okay, now this one's gonna piss a lot of people off, but I can actually see Shantae from Shantae becoming a fighter. And yes, I know it's gonna piss a lot of people off because I know how much everyone loves Shantae from Shantae and, like, you know, Pirate's Curse and stuff. And I know a lot of people would love to see her as a fighter in Smash Brothers, and I know tons of people have been advocating for her ever since the Smash 4 days, actually. But in my opinion, now that we have this whole special costume thing, I think it will make a lot more sense for these special costumes, Shantae to be her own fighter. Yeah, like a costume, Mii Brawler, you know, I can definitely see that. I can see her having the hair. I don't know, just to me, I feel like now that we have this scale, I feel like Shantae is really just there with her indie pals, and I think she would make a great costume for Mii Brawler. So I apologize, I know I probably pissed a lot of people off, but, you know, it makes a lot of sense, in it, you know? Plus, it would be cool to have music for Shantae. I think Shantae has some really, really good tracks, so I'd be down to hear some music for her, you know? Hollow Knight, I know lots of people have been talking about Hollow Knight being in Smash Bros, but as a Mii sword fighter, I think that'd be really cool to see Hollow Knight there. And plus, he's one of those characters that could have like a mask on, similar to like how Cuphead formed, and then the bottom, oh man, that would be sick. And then the bottom part would be different as well. I think that'd be really cool, honestly. Just to have him as a costume. I think they could do so much with the costumes in terms of how exactly to make the character like well put together in terms of costumage. I don't know why I'm saying costumage. I don't even know if that's a word. But I think Hollow Knight would make a great costume in Smash Bros. And I'd be down to see that for sure. Maybe even in the next one. Who knows? Alright, so another fighter that I would really like to see as a Mii fighter, actually, like Celeste, for example. I think Celeste would be a really neat fighter as like a Mii Brawler or something along those lines. Just because Celeste is such a very loved game. So, I mean, I think Celeste would be really cool. I also think it'd be cool if Ryu Hayabusa is a character in Smash Bros. We get like a mission. We got a missionary. A missionary. That should be the sequel to The Messenger, The Missionary. No, I'm talking about The Messenger. Messenger, if you guys remember that, it focuses on a actual, like, ninja and, like, does his thing, whatever. I think that would be cool to have over, like, a Mii sword fighter or something along those lines. Ukulele could be cool, too. You know, you never know. Since we have Banjo in there, and plus Ukulele have, like, that kind of thing where you can just have you can have Yuka's head, and then Laylee's just on top of him, just, like, sitting there. I think that would be really cool. And then you could have him be like a brawler or something. I think that would be actually a really cool costume. A ukulele costume, just because, you know, it is on the Switch already, so it makes sense. Now, I know everyone's going to be mad at me with this one, but once again, I did say this beforehand, and I'll say it again. I think a Minecraft Steve costume makes a lot of sense. Personally, I think it makes a lot of sense putting him over a Mii sword fighter or something along those lines. Just to have him in there. And when it comes to Minecraft, I know I can see Steve becoming a costume character overall. I think that'd be really cool at the very least. And plus, you know, you can have his head, and then you have like the body. And I mean, if people can mod Minecraft Steve over like Link or something, I'm sure a costume would be just fine. And they've done blocky characters before, like Akira, for example. So either that or make him a character. I think people have been asking for Minecraft Steve quite a lot, to be honest with you. I think that it would make a lot of sense to do that. So yeah, I'll have one more character that I'll put into the mix for this one, and that is the Goose from Untitled Goose Game. Now I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. Obviously I don't know exactly how that's gonna work. I would suggest just putting like a head of the goose. That would just be so fun if every time you hit him he freaking quacks. But that brings us to our next topic, which we'll get into in a minute. But yeah, I don't know. I think Untitled Goose Game is like a revolutionary game. It should get some kind of credit. I don't know, just like make him either a costume or maybe have an event where he's a spirit or something. I just think he should get some kind of clout, because if I'm being completely honest, Untitled Goose Game did amazingly well, personally. A lot of people during that era played the game. So, I mean, I think Goose, or whatever his name is, I'll call him Charlie. Charlie from Untitled Goose Game should be a costume in Smash. And maybe you don't have to do maybe like a full goose getup. I mean, you could be like the what was the dude from Toy Story who's like, welcome to Al's Toy Barn. We've
got the lowest prices in town. Everything for a buck.
You'd be like, that dude. Yeah, I mean, he was a likable character. Everyone liked him, right? Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I on a serious note, you could just do like maybe a head thing, and because Untitled Goose Game really doesn't have much music or something to go off of, maybe you just have it be one of those costumes that's just there, like how the rabbits are or something like that. So maybe you could do something like that, but I think it'd just be cool to have Untitled Goose Game there, you know? I don't know, I think it'd be pretty cool. Alright, so the final thing I wanted to talk about with these Mii costumes is kind of the future of where I want these Special Mii costumes head, because once again, I think it's a really good idea for giving some franchises some representation that you don't have to use with like slots and stuff. I think it's a really good idea of doing that. But I think for in the future, they should do a little more with it. I love the idea. I think it's a great start, but I think it'd be so cool if maybe you could add some different elements and differentiate it from the other Mii costumes. Maybe if you put the whole costume on, you'll get a sort of effect that's specific to only that Mii costume. So I remember a lot of people were talking about Cuphead, right? And they're saying, oh man, they should have made the snapping sound that he makes whenever he shoots a pea shooter. Whenever he does that, I think that would have been really cool to have in the Smash Bros. Like have the same sound effects as like Cuphead. I don't know. I think that'd be really cool to have like the same sound effects as that character, or maybe like Sans, for example. I don't know. Or maybe instead of having the same kind of entrance animation that all the other Mii fighters have, maybe have a slightly different one. I don't know. I mean, I know the entrance animation thing may be asking for much, but I'm just here. I may as well throw my hat into the ring. Screw it. I think that'd be really cool. I think also the character, it would be so cool to kind of get their own stage. I was actually thinking this while making footage for a whole other video that I was gonna do. But think about like Inkwell Isle or something like that, and maybe it transforms into like the Root Pack, like an old theater or something like that. I think that would have been really cool to have for a Cuphead stage. As for Inkwell Isle, just to celebrate the costume, you know? I mean, they already go into all these different things, like how they did Cuphead, the Cuphead trailer. That was a really cool way to introduce him into the fray. I think that was really cool. I think it would have been dope to have a stage based off him at least, you know? And maybe they have like the bosses come out or something like that. I don't know. I just think that would have been really dope. Maybe not a Cuphead stage, because Studio MDHR probably would have been like, oh, please no, don't make me do this. Don't make us do this, please. Because, you know, they'll probably have to be in the style of like how they do their rubber hose animation and stuff. And another example, maybe you have a Sans stage. You have like the castle where you battle him. Sorry, I'm uncultured swine. I never played on channel. Don't hurt me, please. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. I'm just a lad. I'm just a lad. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh boy. Don't hurt me. Oh shoot. Oh shoot. So maybe you can have the castle where Sans is, or where you fight Sans for the first time, and then maybe because you know how in that scene they're both like silhouetted, it'd be really cool if you had a stage like that was just completely silhouetted. I can see that being a stage, and then they're like silhouetted and you fight in the castle or something like that. That would be just like, and it doesn't have to be anything crazy or anything like that. It could just be very simple stages or something along those lines. I don't know. I think it'd just be cool if you had a stage like this. I don't know, man. I don't make the rules. And also, for example, imagine like a Hollow Knight stage if Hollow Knight gets picked, or a Shantae stage if Shantae gets picked, or a Hat in Time where like you're a Mafia town and you see like the ship in the background or something like that. I think a Mafia town stage would be really cool. You see the Mafia come out, and then you see Mustache Girl like on the top of the tower that she usually goes to. I think that would be really cool. I don't know. I think with these special costumes, we're already going the outer mile with music. We may as well go balls deep, and we may as well do stages as well. Why not? It doesn't hurt anybody except the team. Hey, listen, man. These are Final 6 characters. They should go crazy with it. They should go absolutely crazy with it, man. I would say stuff like maybe Final Smashes too, but honestly, that might be doing a little too much to the team. So I'm not gonna say really Final Smashes, but it is what it is. Overall, I think they do a very good job of making these special costumes. And once again, I'm really glad that we're getting all this indie representation in Smash Bros. And I'm excited to see the future of it, like which character they're gonna do next. I think we, in a way, been conditioned to be excited for these costumes just as much as the actual character. I mean, when Sans got announced as a Mii costume, people were more hyped about Sans than Banjo-Kazooie, which was absolutely crazy. I didn't think that would ever happen in a million years, where we'd have a character that's more excitable than Banjo-Kazooie himself, you know? I don't know. I think that was mad to me. And then, of course, when Byleth was disappointed, I know a lot of people, when I saw like videos and stuff of them talking about their impressions of the entire direct, they were like, oh, the only thing that I liked from that direct, well, this is back when everyone hated Byleth, was Cuphead being in Smash Bros. Was amazing. It got the hype back up. So I think it's important that we have these costumes in Smash now. So I'm excited to see what Sakurai and the team does for the next DLC special costume with the next DLC character. Will it be Shantae? Will it be freaking Hollow Knight like everyone wants? Will it be Celeste maybe? Will it be a Goose from Untitled Goose Game? I'm still saying you can do the chicken one. I'm still just throwing it out there, alright? But I think overall it's really fun to speculate on which characters could be considered special costumes, which characters should be actual characters. Oh yeah, one other thing I wanted to mention before I go is I know a lot of people want to see Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton and stuff like that. I can actually see them as costumes too. I don't know, maybe I'm just evil, but I can see Phoenix Wright, or maybe they do like a Phoenix Wright pack or something, or they do like Phoenix and Maya or something like that as like brawlers or something, and then Professor Layton's like a sword fighter. I don't know, I can see them doing that as like, I don't know, that's just me though. But either way, I know lots of people have said they want a Phoenix Wright or Professor Layton. I can see them being costumes. That's it. Alright, now that I've pissed everybody off, yeah, once again, I apologize. This video wasn't for the faint of heart, so I apologize if you're on the floor and you've fallen and you can't get up. I apologize. I do. I'll call you an Uber. Don't worry. But anyways, though, guys, tell me what you guys think in the comments below. Who do you think would be a really cool Mii costume? I would be really interested to hear your thoughts. Once again, thank you for the recent support. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna try to work my ass off to get these videos out for you guys before the next Nintendo Direct, which is apparently on like March 24th or something like that. I don't know. Game Explain said something. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys like this episode and want to see what else is on the grill, you guys check this whole playlist in the description below. And of course, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you guys want more Super Smash Talk. What the hell? Smash Talk on your plate. With all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. And with all that being said, you can put your spatulas down now, but keep it sizzling, my Baconators. Peace.